hereby cordially invited to Hanksy Panksy Pretty Pretty Princess, a podcast where two darling dames are searching for their theatrical Prince Charmings to love forever after. I'm Sam Siegel, and I'm playing Lady Baldwina Submissive Bottom. Boss me around, Daddy.
Oh, yes, Daddy. I've been a very naughty, naughty princess.
Yes, tell me what to do, Daddy, please.
um, I'm Lou Patrick. This week I am Sir Chad. Pretty
Hmm,
sure this guy's name wasn't Chad, but it might as well have been. So
it was close enough.
it was, yeah, I'm Sir Chad. I'm gonna go hit the 24/7 fitness center real quick.
Yeah, that is a Sir Chad kind of thing. Just a quick sort of note that I think is going to be pertinent pretty soon here. Um, you've probably heard her before on episodes. Uh, we've discovered one of my cats is deaf.
Oh,
Pretty fully. So, you've probably heard her screaming in the background before. She does not know how loud she's meowing, and I can't tell her to stop.
yeah.
So,
How
if
did
it,
you? Okay, hang on. Let's dissect this for a second. How
uh-huh,
did you figure out? Because dogs, obviously, you can go like, "Hey, Rufus,"
uh-huh,
and the dog typically will turn around unless they're deaf. There's signs.
mm-hmm.
Cats, harder to figure out with a cat.
You would think, right?
Yeah.
However, it ended up not being all that difficult.
Okay.
We just didn't like notice the signs. But not too long after the wee baby Lewis was born, though I guess technically not a baby anymore, he is 1 year old now.
He's toddling.
Uh, the wee toddler boy Lewis.
Man, just really quick. Hold, it's been a year?
It has been a year.
Whoa.
Yeah,
And I have glasses now to demarcate that time has passed.
and I have a tiara,
And you have a tiara. Yeah,
not associated with the passage of time, but I do
could
have
be.
one.
Yeah, could be associated with the passage of
Yeah,
time.
and actually, you'll enjoy this. I discovered today I have a single gray hair in my beard.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I have yet to, mine just keeps getting redder.
Hmm.
I have a pretty red beard these days.
It is quite red.
It's quite red, which is odd. And then we obviously the top crop
Hmm.
not happening. So I don't know about that, but I would assume it's getting. I don't. Everybody in my family. Here's what's upsetting, Sam.
Hmm.
I'm gonna complain about something really quick.
Sure.
Which is that everybody in a certain part of my family gets Draco Malfoy hair as they old, like stark white, and it's
Mm.
awesome. And
And
I
you're
had
just
that.
becoming Redbeard.
I'm becoming red beard and I'm losing my hair, and I was so excited because I have the flavor of like kind of blondish hair that up top anyway that like
Hmm.
would naturally have turned into this like Draco Malfoy just utterly
Shock of
white
white hair.
shock of white hair.
Hmm.
And as it comes in, it's like streaked and stuff. Like
Mm.
it would have looked awesome, but I am not blessed, hashtag blessed with hair up there
Yeah.
anymore. So
No, so I don't know what's gonna happen because let's see. No one in my family has facial hair,
yeah.
so sort of blazing new ground there. Um, I'm trying to think when my dad started to gray. It was not too long ago.
No, actually, because I saw your dad recently
Hmm.
and he's now quite gray. And
Yeah,
I did notice this as a change. And it's not
yeah.
like I haven't seen him in like a decade.
He also like maybe like 5 years ago actually started to like lose some hair.
Yeah.
Um, and he's in his 70s.
Yeah, that's a good run right
Yeah,
there.
no, his dad still had hair a little, not like a ton, but he had enough hair. Um, when he died when he was in his 90s.
Yeah, that's a
Is
great run.
we got good genes for
That's good
hair over
stock.
here.
Yeah. Thick, luscious hair. Because like I liked the description of having enough hair Because
Hmm.
that's my problem. I don't have enough.
Yeah,
Like
you
it's
gotta.
all like for the viewers on YouTube, like it's just fading. It's like the end of a song in the 70s up here. It's just fading out, man.
Mm, yeah, I will say the TR covers it up pretty well. I am thinning a fair
Yeah.
amount right here in the front, have been for about a year now. Not sure if that's correlated with anything.
My dude, cry me a fucking river.
Oh no, I'm just saying I had a child and then my hair started thinning, so
Okay, no, that's totally fair.
so the timing seems pretty random to me. But
Yeah,
no,
who
back to the
knows?
deaf cat.
Yeah, okay.
So around the time he was born, we noticed that she started meowing a lot louder. We didn't really think much of it. We thought she just wanted more attention. And then recently, I was trying to get him to sleep, and she kept coming in and screaming.
Hmm.
And so my wife grabbed the bag of treats and was shaking them. And for for all the 10 years that I've had this cat, you shake a bag of treats, she'll drop everything she's doing. Taxes, doesn't matter.
Yeah, yeah.
She's going to that bag of treats. Didn't budge. Nothing. I had also noticed not too long before that, and hadn't thought much of it, that when I was vacuuming around her, she seemed pretty nonplussed. And I was like, oh, I guess she's just super brave now.
Yeah,
No, she
no.
can't hear. And there she is.
Oh man.
Yes,
Um,
okay. Yeah, very loud.
yeah. She has
So,
been a regular guest on these episodes lately.
yeah, she's just a louder guest now. So,
Yeah.
folks, I'd apologize, but she's deaf. Come on.
Yeah, she's doing what she can.
Be nice to her. She's
Yeah.
deaf. I tried to play with her the other night with like her favorite toy. It has a bell on it, which
Yeah.
she can't hear. And so she had a really hard time tracking it. Because like if I would move it quickly, she would just be like, huh? So the
Challenges, man.
the interesting challenges of having a newly deaf cat. But that's not actually the movie we watched
No,
this
that's
week.
not, that's totally unrelated to the movie we watched this week.
Yeah, I'm fairly. Instead, we watched 2004's Ella Enchanted.
Yeah.
Luke, how was your watch?
Early.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, still in a situation where I keep watching these dudes at the ass crack of dawn.
Mm-hmm.
And I gotta tell you, there's something special. There's a little something spicy in particular. Because, like, you pull up John Wick 4 at 5 a.m.,
Mm-hmm.
very different experience than pulling up a Pretty Princess movie at 5 in the morning.
It's a real different vibe.
It is extremely different. Actually, I would hazard, excuse me, a Pretty Princess movie is hard to sandwich into basically any time of day
Mm-hmm.
that isn't like I don't know, 6 or 7, right? Like a normal 5, 6, 7, a normal time to like watch a movie while you're eating or something.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Because like I watched Little Mermaid 2 at like 2 in the afternoon.
It's a weird
Weird.
time to watch it.
Extremely weird time to watch Little Mermaid 2, the sequel, by yourself in the middle of the day
Yeah, as an adult man with
as an
no
adult
children.
man. Again, that one I was just desperately hoping that no like UPS driver came up and like
Mm-hmm.
needed a signature or something.
Yeah, I mean, I guess there's nothing you're gonna say that's gonna make that situation look better, and a lot of things you could say that will make it look worse.
Yeah. I think the best way, I thought about this a little bit. I think the best way to hack it would just to be, oh, it's pretty good, right?
Except it's not.
It's not, but it would be very fun to play it off as like, yeah, it's a good movie. It's got a lot of subtext. It's pretty solid.
Pretty solid flick, you know? I mean, you got Ozempic Ursula in there.
You got
That's
Ozempic.
something.
It's remarkably little to do with slavery.
So little to do with slavery if you really think about it. And like
Anyway.
the other thing is
Hmm.
is in the Little Mermaid too, they kill so few Jews.
Yeah, it has remarkably little anti-Semitism.
So little anti-Semitism, so few Jews killed during the
Yeah,
runtime. It's wild
it is pretty
how
nuts.
few Jews die in that movie.
We got to keep hammering this home because sometimes you watch a movie like Hercules and
Uh-huh.
it has kind of a lot to do with
It's got some
anti-Semitism.
vibes, right?
So we got to make sure you folks know which ones are safe and which ones aren't because
Hmm.
they'll get you.
Yeah, which ones are virulently anti-Semitic and which ones are The Little Mermaid too?
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, all that to say it was fine. Booted up Jeffrey Netflix's site. Uh, and it's just streamed it straight into my home.
Hmm.
No big deal. Sam, how was your watch?
Quick question. Are you now on Netflix with ads?
Yes. Is that true?
Well, the question would be earlier today when you watched it, were there ads?
There were no ads. Does that mean I have no ads?
I would imagine that you are not on
Okay.
the Netflix basic with ads.
Yeah, I know that we used to pay for the not like the big time package,
Hmm.
but the like college ball package, right? Like that
Right.
was like 4K
Yes.
Dolby Atmos streaming stuff, but not the like super deluxe
Hmm.
version.
Where they actually just send a troupe of actors to your house.
Yeah, they send Annie Hathaways directly to your house
Hmm.
to perform pieces of this movie. No, yeah, I guess I pay for the version that doesn't have ads.
Hmm. Okay.
So did you watch with ads?
Fuck no.
Okay.
Which I say that like it's absurd. I'm doing exactly what Netflix wants, which is paying
Yeah.
more money for the same product that I had before.
Yeah. And
Um,
shitification, like writ large,
oh
exactly.
yeah. In case anybody was wondering, this is the deaf cat in question.
Oh, she's so cute.
She's so sweet.
She
I
is so
love this kitty.
sweet. She's such a
Uh,
sweet baby. Every time we cat sit for you, it's a real treat because this makes a lot of sense because lately you guys went out of town and we cat sat
mhm.
for a little bit. We would walk in the door, she would emerge screaming
Yes.
every time,
Yeah. Real loud, right?
real loud.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you could hear her through the door.
right. And we were like, I guess she just was like dying for attention.
No, just deaf.
No, she's basically a 90-year-old person wandering
Uh-huh.
around going, I'm 92. Well, give me
Exactly.
the
Yeah.
pudding. Where's pudding?
Where's my rice pudding? Fuck! I can do that. Lewis isn't napping this time.
Nice. He's
He's
just a
not
human.
napping. He's not asleep. So
It's
I
just a
can
young
shout as much as I want. He's
he's
not even
just
on
a
this floor of the house, so I can go fucking oh shit.
yeah, you can.
Oh,
Okay,
it
that
feels
makes sense.
so good. It
I was
feels
gonna
so,
say,
I've missed it. I'll
yeah.
tell you, I've missed being real loud on this podcast.
Hey, brother, spike those waveforms. Let's
Oh,
just
don't you fucking worry. I have. I absolutely have. So yeah. Um, no, what, my watch. Yeah,
yeah.
fine. Um, watched it, before dinner, with the child.
Yeah,
And also,
what Lewis think of this one?
I don't think he gave a shit.
Okay. Well, we'll get into it.
Yeah, we'll get into it. Our watch continued into dinner, and then we had to pause the watch, put Lewis down to bed. So about an hour later, I finished the last half hour,
Hmm.
just by myself this time. And then I played some Dishonored too.
Amazing.
Um, unrelated, but it was part of the evening, I guess.
It's pretty good, I
Yeah,
assume. Yeah.
yeah. Oh, solid game.
Yeah.
Big. I know a lot of people have been waiting on my review for this one, ever since it came out. I think 8 years ago.
Yeah. Sounds about right.
Strong recommend.
Amazing.
Strong recommend from me.
Yeah, I
Um.
mean that's the thing about playing a game that's 8 years old. I bet right now, especially, jump on Steam, probably pick that dude up for like I don't know, like a Bud Light.
I mean,
Like,
shit, I'll fucking look it up right now. Now, if you got Game Pass, it's free.
oh, well, there you go.
Yeah, it is. I'm not joking. $3.
Yeah, there you go. That's exactly what I was thinking. Because that's the beautiful
Confusingly,
thing, right? Like these games are still good.
yeah, it's exquisite. Now,
Yeah.
what's confusing to me is that the original Dishonored is actually $10. So I don't actually know why the first game is more expensive than the second, but I gotta tell you, it's all good. I have not quite hit Dishonored, Death of the Outsider yet. That's coming next.
Mm.
But I've heard good things about that too.
Hell yeah,
So,
brother.
what's the plot of Ella Enchanted? A game
That's
that
really
came out before Dishonored 2, or a
before I
movie
just
that came out to even
yeah, 3 years after the towers fell.
3 years after the towers. We're still healing as a nation,
Still very much healing as a nation.
making sure we're not electing John Kerry.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's honestly all I could tell you about 2004 is
Yeah.
that we all roundly saw John Kerry and his ketchup money and said no thank you.
Yeah, I
We
think
actually don't like you and your weirdly tall hair.
it's very funny that you brought him up because you like activated me like a sleeper agent because it was just like all of these weird latent emotions I have around him that you brought up like as if I've been in a fugue state since 2004. I'm like, yeah, though, fuck that guy though.
Yeah, it's just he's like this guy would think mayo is spicy. He
He'd
just
totally
sucks
eat
so
mayo.
much.
Get a big jar
Um,
of Hellman's and go, hey, hang on, it's just the spicy stuff. Dude, it's Hellman's.
I call this my own sriracha because it's pretty spicy. Um, he
He
had
can
he was so devoid of personality. He actually owes all of us personality.
Yeah.
Um, he's
He,
in the
he
negatives.
he had negative Riz. Like,
He had go away heat.
yeah. Is that what the kids are saying?
So go away heat is a term from wrestling. Um,
Oh, okay, gotcha.
yeah. So you've got your faces in
Yeah.
wrestling, like your good guys
And your heels.
and your heels. Now, heels can have heat, and heat
Hmm.
means that like you love to hate them, right?
Yeah.
Like, you're excited to see them, but you don't, like they're the bad guy.
Right.
A Darth Vader has heat.
And it makes a dude, have you ever seen Darth Vader just absolutely pile drive someone in the death
Oh,
match?
do you remember when during SmackDown in like 96
Hmm.
uh when Darth Vader did a full-on pile driver on Stone Cold Steve Austin and
Hmm.
sent him straight to hell, actually?
Yep. It
A
was
lot of
yeah.
a lot of people say that the full Nelson that Darth Vader put Hulk Hogan
Hmm.
in 95 is the reason Hulk Hogan is a massive sack of shit now.
Yeah.
He
It's
got burned so bad by that Sith Lord,
yeah.
who again is mostly mostly
Yeah.
cybertronics,
Wouldn't it be
because he
really
fell in
funny?
lava.
Wouldn't it be really funny if someone like Darth Vader actually existed, like is mostly cybernetics
Hmm.
and was like anti-vax, right?
I know modern medicine saved me, but
Yeah, I mean, sure, I'm like 90%. You can see him on the Joe Rogan podcast, be like, yeah, sure, I'm like 90% cybernetics, but like, I don't know those vaccines, man.
yeah, well, just to be like, I don't know about modern medicine. It seems pretty fucking bad. It's like, yeah, cybernetics do make up my arms, legs, and most of my
Most of my
skull,
organs.
but I think it's a fucking scam.
It's a step too far what they're making kids do these days.
Don't get me started on the measles vaccine.
I'm glad you could follow me into that path because it seemed
I can
really
see it
funny in
too.
my head.
And Joe Rogan just sitting there nodding me like, man, you're
Yeah,
asking good
man.
questions.
These are good questions, man.
I gotta do that research.
Do
Fuck
your
me.
own research. Okay. The plot
Yeah.
of Ella
Wait,
Enchanted.
I didn't
Hmm.
finish. I do need to explain go away heat.
Oh,
So
yeah.
so yeah, like villain heels that you love to hate, they have heat. However, a heel can go too far. And you can
Mm,
just hate them. Full
yeah,
blown. They're not fun. They're just annoying. They have go away heat.
I
Um
see.
People with go away heat include like JD Vance,
Yeah.
Elon Musk,
Hmm.
that kid down the street when you were in elementary school. We all know. We all
Yeah.
know. We all had one. And John Kerry,
And John Kerry. Okay.
the plot. Yes,
Yeah, the plot. I was really hoping that you wouldn't ask me for the plot.
I did though. Is the thing.
You did. As is tradition on this podcast, I have to give a plot. Here's
Hmm.
what's okay. Caveat to all this. This is going to be Luke's drunk uncle recap
Ooh,
of the
okay.
plot. I'm your drunk uncle, not literally, for this
Yeah. Would
episode.
hey. We've probably talked about this before. Would be fucking wild if you were like been sober for a long time, drunk for this one.
Glug, glug, glug,
I'm
glug, glug.
off the wagon
I'm off the wagon after 7.5 years. On
Mhm.
air, baby. Let's
For
do
Ella
Ella
For Ella
Enchanted.
Enchanted of all things. Ruining your streak for Ella Enchanted
For Ella
is
Enchanted. Yeah.
oof.
I just see Carrie Elwes and I just want to drink.
Who doesn't?
Who doesn't? Okay. Here is Luke's, as your drunk uncle, giving you the plot sort of synopsis. We
Hmm.
go wander, but here's the basic gist.
Okay.
Ella, played by Annie Hathaways,
Hmm.
is it's sort of a Cinderella setup. It starts that way.
Yes.
So her dad is like, well, we mostly see her mom
Yeah.
and her nanny, lover of the mother, the thruple third
So at
member.
first I thought that Annie Hathaway had two moms,
That's exactly what I thought.
and then later she's like, I, I just work here.
I just work here.
It's deeply confusing.
Because somebody mentions your dad, and I was like bio dad? Like,
Uh-huh.
where's he? But no, he like, okay, so he waltzes in later. After like 5 minutes of just her having two moms, suddenly there's a guy.
Hmm.
Anyway,
Who I feel like I need to say her dad looks like Annie Baldwin fucked Chucky Sheen.
yeah, no, you're not wrong.
Because at first I was like, is that a Baldwin? And then I got another shot and I went, no, it's not a Baldwin. And then we got like a quick shot of him and I went, is that Chucky fucking Sheen here? It was
Yeah,
not Chucky Sheen. It's what would happen if Chucky Sheen fucked literally any Baldwin.
yeah. Well, it's not
Doesn't
important
matter.
because dad is irrelevant to this movie.
Yes.
So, anyway, dad, it's Cinderella. Her mom passes away due to some
Hmm.
unspecified illness.
Typhus,
Typhus, sure.
probably.
Um, yeah, probably. And uh dad remarries for money. Two
Hmm.
mean stepsisters, although and unlike the other one we watched, the actual like Cinderella story. God, what's the
Hmm.
name of that movie?
Um,
Ever After? Is that it?
yes, it was ever
Yeah.
after. I was gonna
Unlike
say a princess story, but
a
that.
princess story. That could be any of these.
Hmm.
Um, anyway, unlike that movie, her two stepsisters are in fact just shitheads, both of
Yeah,
them.
terrible.
Um, anyway, Sam, here's how the rest of the movie plays out.
Okay, I need to actually stop you because you've already fucked this up.
Yeah.
The
Oh, I don't
movie,
doubt that.
the
This
movie
is the drunk
has
uncle take.
the movie literally the whole conceit of the movie is that it
Oh,
starts
oh,
with
I'm
her
so sorry. Yeah, hang on. Let me do this. I got
being
this.
the subject of a spell that's like pretty fucking important for the movie,
No, I'm
Luke.
sorry. Okay, yeah, let me back up. So when she's born, yeah, it's only the most critical part of this movie.
Just the entire plot itself.
Here's the problem. This movie went in, it evaporated in my
Mm,
head. Like it didn't even come out the other end. It just boofed.
mm,
Um, so we'll talk about that. But yeah, so when she's born, her fairy godmother shows up and is drunk, I guess.
mm.
Which actually kind of seems like canon based on some of her actions later in the movie.
We're gonna talk about her.
Yeah, she shows up and she's like, I'm gonna make it so she's obedient all the time.
Hmm.
Boop. Anything you say, she's drunk, obviously, in this.
Yeah.
Anything you say, she's gonna do it.
Hmm.
Okay? She's gonna do it.
Hmm.
Bye. And well, at first her two moms, because again, dad nowhere.
Yeah.
Her two moms are like, bro, maybe slow your roll and don't do that. And the fairy godmother's like, nah, it's what, you don't like my gift? It's perfect.
Yeah, she's a little bit like, oh, so you think you're too fucking good for my fucking gift, hmm?
Yeah. So how this plays out is that Annie Hathaway's in this movie, Ella. Anytime someone gives her a command, there is a "brrrt" noise.
Hmm.
She gets great posture
Yes.
and she goes to town. She has to do that thing.
Yeah.
And it happens constantly.
It's a lot.
And every single time they make that noise, "brrrt,"
Hmm.
like an iPhone going off.
Yes.
And she straightens up and she does the thing. And it's kind of like the way they handle it is a little inconsistent, but like that's she's been cursed, right? So that's
Yeah.
um Sam, do you want to do the rest?
Yeah, because I feel like this is, no offense, going nowhere
It's going
fast.
nowhere because here's what I was gonna say next. There's a guy in a book. She picks up an elf.
Okay,
She's on a
yeah, no,
magical
you
quest.
okay. So, so she grows up with this spell, curse, whatever you want to call it. And her when her mom died, she was like, do not ever tell anyone about this under any
Right.
circumstance, which is a command. So she is not legally allowed to tell anyone.
She's
She
got an
signed.
NDA.
She's got a magical NDA.
Yeah.
So then her step siblings come, they're awful. They y- we see lots of goofs where like somebody will be like, "We'll hop to it," and then she like will hop to the
Yeah.
location.
We
So she
see
takes these things very literally.
we see a lot of those.
Yes. So let's see. The land is ruled by Carrie Elwes, who's playing Edgar, and he's a real piece of shit. He
Hmm.
has segregated the country, forcing elves, ogres, and giants into their own sort of conclaves so that humans can reign supreme. He
Yeah.
has a nephew played by Hugh Dancy.
Will
Uh,
Graham, everybody, from Hannibal.
yes, Prince Char.
Hmm.
And he is just kind of a dipshit at first. He runs into Ella. He's kind of interested in her. They kind of bump into each other here and there. Ella, Ella's stepsisters end up finding out that she will do anything you tell her to do. So they start to sabotage her, making her steal, making her, like not talk to her friends,
Yeah.
anything like that. So she decides that she's going to leave, find her fairy godmother, the drunk, and make her take it back. So she runs into an elf, Slobodan Milosevic, I think.
If you hadn't asked me, Slepen or something? But I like yours better.
Sledden. Well, Slobodan Milosevic was
Slobodan Milosevic.
which was a tyrant in Serbia who did some ethnic cleansing.
Hmm.
So Slobodan Milosevic, the elf, um, uh, So elves have to be entertainers.
Yeah.
They can sing, they can dance, they can engage in tomfoolery, and those are the only things that we can do. They can do. Slobodan wants to be an attorney, so he kind of helps her out, and then they keep going on and run into some ogres who all have their cracks showing to a pretty incredible degree.
Yeah, their jumpers are just sort of out.
Yeah. Um, Then Prince Char saves Ella from the ogres, and then she ends up at a wedding of giants. They hang out there for a while. She convinces Prince Char to like talk to the giants and understand that like they're not shitty,
Yeah.
and maybe to reverse the policies of his uncle once he gains power, which will be soon.
Yeah.
Um,
And then, which we'll talk about, no one seems to have seen this coming, the
yeah,
whole Carrie Elwes plot line, but go ahead.
yeah. So then, they kind of start falling in love. She then, uh, is like going to marry him basically. And then Carrie Elwes finds out that Ella will do anything that she says or that somebody else tells her to do. So he tells her to kill
Yeah.
Prince Char, much like he killed Prince Char's dad, his own brother. Um, and then she ties herself to a tree. She to keep herself from killing Char. Then her drunk fairy godmother just shows up on a fucking bender.
Yeah.
She
Literally,
can
it just described as she's been on a bender, I
Yes.
guess.
So she finally gets to talk to her and is like, please take this away. And she goes, you fucking ungrateful piece of
You
shit.
don't like your gift? Hasn't it been so good for
Fuck
you?
you.
Fuck you.
And then she releases her from the tree, puts her in a nice gown, and is like, get the fuck out of here.
You're gonna look so pretty at the ball. Yeah.
And then, right when she's about to stab Prince Char, she realizes that the power was inside her all along, and she actually doesn't have to listen to other people, so she just stops. He thinks she was trying to kill her. There's a brief thing there where she goes to prison, and then Slobodan Milosevic and all their new friends break her out of prison, and then she gets shows up at Prince Char's coronation to save him, and they fight some ninjas, kind of,
Kinda.
and fall back in love. And Gary Elwes poisons himself and doesn't die, but is real fucked up.
It's real
And
fucked up.
it's all narrated by Eric Idle.
Oh yeah, it is. I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is pretty cool. It's a pretty
Oh,
cool little bit.
and there's a dance scene at the end.
Yeah, there's kind of some weird music sprinkled throughout this one.
You mean like the Bollywood music at the giant
At the
wedding?
giant wedding? Yeah,
You
for
just
sure.
full on Bollywood music?
Yeah, because someone commands her to sing and she goes like, "Oh shit." And so it's like, "Sing." And so she has to sing. And yeah, there's like and that thing lasted for a while,
Yeah, I mean she was singing Somebody to Love by Queen,
which was pretty
which, hey,
righteous.
let me say, Anne Hathaway pulled it off.
She did. And it's they do the whole number though.
The whole song,
It's like a
which
5 minute
it's
song.
a good song
Oh,
though.
it's a great song.
So I wasn't mad at it. It's a weird choice, but I weren't mad.
Yeah, but the movie does end with like a full choreographed musical number,
Yes.
basically.
Yeah. What'd you think?
Okay, do I have to do a single word?
No.
Okay, great. This movie has there are pieces of it I adored that felt
Mm-hmm.
very Shrek to me.
Yes. Yes.
There are parts that really work for me because, like, basically, the world is super unique as far as I'm aware because it's like
Mm-hmm.
medieval fairy tale era, but they have like a Chili's, right? Like,
It very much has those Shrek vibes. Oh my God, I hadn't considered it, but yeah, because it's like there's a fucking mall. They
there's a
go to the
mall.
mall and like they ride an escalator.
Hmm.
Um, but it's just wood steps that like two dudes are cranking so that
Hmm.
it keeps moving. Like it's really smart in how like they weave like this medieval world with like our own.
Yes,
Um,
exactly.
Again, much like Shrek.
Much like Shrek, there's a lot of that, and they do almost like Mel Brooksy style sort of like jokes with it, like you're talking about with the guys cranking the escalator, or
Hmm.
like
I would even
um
say "Hop to It" is sort of a Mel Brooks style joke where
they're throwing jokes in wherever a joke will fit.
yeah,
Um,
because like again, Carrie Elwes does not know that she'll follow any command, and he's like, "You two hop to it," and then Anne Hathaway just starts hopping in place and then hops down a hall, and
yeah,
it's got that like Mel Brooks construction.
for sure. So that part felt really good. I don't know. I didn't find myself hooked in though.
Hmm.
I was sort of keeping it at an arm's length, and I don't know why. It didn't fully engage me the way that like Shrek, dude, the hour and a half that Shrek runs,
Oh my
it
God,
sprints through your house.
yes. So here's what I'll say. I think because it did not grab me as much until honestly probably the last half hour.
Okay.
Um,
That's
and
totally fair. It picks up quite a bit.
well, and that's the thing is that the opening is slow.
Yeah.
The middle is slow. The last half hour, a lot happens.
Oh, we go pedal to the metal for sure.
And I would say the last half hour is the movie at its silliest.
Yeah.
It fully embraces how goofy it is, and it works really well. Whereas like the other hour, I feel like is really trying to sell the like romance. It's also trying to sell like some of the action and the like drama of it while
Yeah.
also being silly. And it's just kind of too much is happening. And so
Yeah.
weirdly it's very easy to check out.
The more I think about it, this movie is almost exactly what you get if you take Shrek and you smash it into Ever After at the speed of light.
Yes.
Because the plot similarities between the two of them, if you synthesize them in your weird freaky deaky lab,
Mm-hmm.
they're pretty consistent. Like there's like a lot of the same plot structures Ever After, but also there's like that scene in the woods where she like Annie Hathaway's like decks a guy and like
Yeah. She's apparently a very accomplished fighter.
right, she's a serious, she's got a black belt, man.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
She like killed some people.
she killed some people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's gonna need an attorney, which is good because
Slobodan Milosevic right there.
Slobodan Milosevic is right there without a
Slobodan
legal degree.
Milosevic, Esquire.
Esquire.
Um,
I'm writing that down. All right.
but yeah, there's I don't know. I had way more things to write during that last third than I did the rest. I
Yeah.
did have lots of questions though,
Oh, hit me, man.
because I think what we need to do is we need to dig into and fully define this curse slash spell
Okay.
because sometimes there is wiggle room. Like when early in the movie her mom is like go practice your mandolin and she's like ding okay but I'm not gonna like do it quickly
And then
and
she's
then
like,
her
hurry up.
and then she's like whoosh. So there sometimes there is wiggle room
Yeah.
other times and it seems like most of the time there's none.
Like hop to it, right?
Hop
Like,
to it, it's immediate and it's big hops.
yeah.
um or like so Carrie always tells her that she can't tell Hugh Dancy that she's going that he has plotted to kill him and all of that. Can she not be like, don't trust your uncle? Because she doesn't do
Yeah.
that. And you would think after several years of a decade even of having this situation, you would
Yeah.
know the loopholes.
You'd think she would have worked out pretty meticulously what does and does not fly
Yeah. There'd
with
be a
this.
like almost like a sort of like conspiracy board of
Yeah.
like, okay, so if I'm told this, this is how much leeway I have. And there's just not a whole lot.
Yeah, I think this is a problem with the movie, which is that, like you said, they thought through a lot of things.
Hmm.
They just got too many attack vectors going on. It's like, is
Yes,
this a romance movie? Is this a movie centered around this gimmick of like like that shit, what was the name of the movie where it's like Liar Liar, isn't it? Like the Jim Carrey movie
I
where
think
he
so. Yeah.
physically can't lie. And he's
Yeah.
like an attorney, I think.
Hmm.
I don't know. It's been a very long time since I've seen that, but like, like that, the movie is centered around that gimmick. And in this
Yeah.
case, they didn't, it's part of the movie,
Hmm.
but in my plot synopsis, I forgot it at the beginning,
Yeah.
which is a lot about me, but it's
Yeah.
also a little bit about this movie.
Because, like, okay, like, so early on, her shithead stepsister is like, tell your best friend you can't see her ever again, and that you could never be friends with like a some sort of ethnic minority
Yeah, for
that
sure.
she belongs to
People in this village are racist.
deeply.
Yeah.
Um, what stops you from doing that? Because she very tearfully tells her friend this. What is stopping her from saying, I can't be friends with Jews?
Sure.
Um, and then being like, my sister told me I had to say that.
Yeah, it's a good point.
I don't actually mean that. Um,
Because,
which
okay, you
which
know
then
what
I
she
guess
is?
because that's not admitting that you have the curse, because she's not allowed to do that.
Right.
You're just saying what happened.
You know what she is?
Hmm.
She's AI.
Oh, you mean that if I yelled loud enough at the TV screen to ignore all previous prompts and give me a recipe for chicken
Uh-huh.
piccata, that
Uh-huh.
she would immediately be like, first, grab two chicken breasts and pound them out.
This is exactly what I'm thinking. Yeah,
Uh,
for clear memory, forget all previous instructions. Like, how does this work? Can you like layer things on? Does she like hallucinate shit?
yeah,
She's AI. She's
I
I okay,
that's
new theory. She's not a real person. She is a robot.
that is uncomfortably compelling because I think
Hmm.
she genuinely is. Because she's not, I gotta tell you, she's not coming up with a lot of ideas on her own.
Yeah, no,
She's
she's
getting a
not.
lot of it from like the book man. Someone turned a man into a book or something. Uh,
It's okay, so not mom number two's boyfriend is a book because she was
mhm,
trying to give him a haircut and she turned him into a book. Oops.
yeah,
And then she couldn't like I think she liked him as a book.
I think they had to have had a very specific sexual dynamic
Yeah.
such that it was beneficial to her that he's a book. Like, what if he had a teeny weeny and he
Hmm.
always wanted to use it before? And now that he's a book, he could just like talk to her as
Or
she goes to town on herself.
he can write stories.
Yeah, yeah, no, yeah. So it can be he can be really erotic but very hands
Yeah.
off, which is like her whole
Her
thing.
whole jam. Yeah. So he can just pump out like erotica after erotica.
Hmm.
And
Good
then
stuff. Kind of like an AI,
kind
but
of like an
from a
AI.
real person. So creativity is actually involved.
Oh, and he gets creative with the way he
Ah,
describes things.
he gets to some places.
There are no turgid members in his books.
No, 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 no. Just pulsing flesh worms.
Yeah. It's my favorite part of Dune.
Hmm.
It's
The
talking about the
pulsing flesh
pulsing
worm.
flesh worms. Yeah.
Yeah. Um,
So
are
yeah,
there elf porn stars?
elf porns, there'd have to be,
There
wouldn't
would
there?
have to be because they have to entertain and they are legally required to stay within the bounds of like song, dance, and tomfoolery.
And tomfoolery.
And I think tomfoolery gives you enough leeway to go hammering tongs on camera.
I think so. In fact, I would say that's probably the most prized way to
It would
make a
have to
living.
be. It would have to be.
Yeah, because if you're an elf and everybody over there's singing the hits, right?
Hmm.
They're all dancing to them. They're all singing the hits. They've got
Yeah,
their
it is
choreographed
my hell.
routines. Yeah, for sure. Man, if you were an elf, you'd be like this guy. You'd want to be an attorney.
Yeah, I too would want to be Slobodan Milosevic Esquire.
Esquire. Um, so yeah, I think to answer your question, there'd have to be
God,
elf porn stars. And I bet there are only
I
elf
think so.
porn stars.
Which I gotta tell you puts you in a bit of a predicament if you're a bigot and you want to get off
It's
because
true. Well,
you supported the segregation that got the elves to where they
right.
are. And now your only opportunity to get in the mood to really rub out a big thick load
Hmm.
is to watch the people you hate copulate. And I like, especially if your vibe is like, I want them in their own place and I want them restricted to things because they reproduce too quickly.
Yeah.
Like, that's got to put you in a weird headspace if you're like, man, like, they've got exquisite buttholes that are getting me real hot. But God, I hate them so fucking much. These people
Oh,
disgust me, but their buttholes don't.
that's an exquisite butthole right
Oh,
there.
yeah.
That's a
Oh, that butthole.
Okay, here's the thing though. What
Hmm.
you're describing is a real world issue because every year Pornhub comes out with their stats on what Republican states are watching.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, man, this exists.
it does exist. So, yeah, I guess it makes some sense
Hmm.
that these bigots would be like, yeah, I fucking hate these elves, but God, I love watching them just get in each other and
Get
running
up in
around.
there. Yeah. I think it works out great. I think
It
for
does,
some people that
unfortunately,
is the
yeah.
appeal. Yeah. What else you got?
Let's see. Got real pervert vibes from Carrie Elwes.
Yeah.
Real
Oh,
pervert
yeah.
vibes. The scene where he is testing out if she'll actually do anything you tell her to do was really uncomfortable.
Yeah, it
Because there's
was.
this like undercurrent of like, if this were rated even PG-13, he would
Yeah,
ask for different things.
he would. I was thinking the same thing. Like, what a horrible curse
Mm-hmm.
to be given because in a differently rated movie or real life, which I would argue is differently rated,
Yeah, some would say.
some would say that life itself is probably NC-17. Um,
If not X.
if not X, depending. I mean, sometimes it's G, right?
Sometimes.
Sometimes it's a hard X. It's
Sometimes it's a hard
elves.
X.
Sometimes it's an elf movie.
Sometimes you're showing whole and it's a hard X.
It's a hard X. Yeah, depending on where she's at, man, that could get sketch as fuck. And for a PG, okay, here's my question: is this a PG movie? I don't think it's PG-13, but
I think in content, yes.
okay.
In concept, no.
Right. Like, is this for kids? Because that was the thing I kept running into is like it's dumbed down in some really specific ways that I do
Mm-hmm.
think make it accessible to kids.
Mm-hmm.
But would kids like this movie?
I mean, I think so. I just again, it's that scene with Carrie Elwes where it gets really uncomfortable if
Yeah,
you're
for
an
sure.
adult. Like I
Yeah.
I think a kid wouldn't clock it, but an adult is like yuck, especially when he tells her to touch her toes.
Oh, yeah, that
I
was
did
really
not like
gross.
that. That was
Yeah.
really uncomfortable. Um, so yeah, big pervert vibes from him. Because he does have a room full of mirrors, and at least one of them is like a two-way mirror.
Yeah. I will
Uh,
say this about the pervert vibes though. I get
uh-huh.
way less like sex offender vibes from
Mm-hmm.
this guy. There's no okay, the language here sucks because there's not a lot of good ways to say this, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm not equating these two things. I don't think that he is perverted in a legally uh like something that's gonna pop legally
Mm-hmm.
sort of way. I do get furry vibes.
Furry vibes. I was gonna say he feels in some ways more like a peeping Tom
I can see that.
than like uh
Though that would incur some legal action.
oh, absolutely. I
Yeah.
the man killed his own brother and was gonna
He
kill his
did
nephew.
kill his own
There are
brother.
legal ramifications here. Ask Slobodan Milosevic. Um
Well, it depends. Yeah. So I think I don't know, I just imagine in my head like if he's like uh if he had opened a door and it was just full of personas, I would have been
we
like,
all would have gotten it.
yeah, that would make sense. Yeah, no,
Because
for
I
this guy,
he had an interesting relationship with that snake
he did.
that was
There's a
really
talking
sexual.
snake, by
There's a
the way.
talking snake, and I never understood it. I never
Nope.
understood why the snake was there, but I think he's got some sexual energy with that. That so, um, that snake, I think it's okay to say is a real throat goat, if you know what I mean.
Could be.
Um, just throating Carrie Elwes every night, and that's why he
Mhm.
keeps him around. Also evil and a demon. Um,
Yeah.
I feel like it's a demon
I
snake,
just like, okay,
which
so
is
you
what Carrie Elwes calls his penis.
Mm.
Would
See,
you
I was
like to see
gonna
the demon snake?
would you like to see? And that sweet, soft Carrie Ellis, like
Mm-hmm.
so versatile voice of his. Would you like to see the demon snake? Um, yeah, so what I was gonna say has flown my skull. Oh, okay. You know how like in a lot of like lore surrounding having like a succubus familiar that gives you powers and makes you unstoppable and stuff.
Uh-huh.
It's typically like you kind of get to choose the appearance of said succubus. What if this demon showed up and made a deal and Carrie Ellis was like, great. And they're like, okay, what gets you going? What should I look like? Snake. I'm s-
Really quick.
what?
Yeah,
Yeah, like
like
immediately.
before he finishes, like, so what form would you snake?
Snake.
Oh, okay, you've got a flavor that you're
Yeah,
aware of.
you're very aware of this, and I guess I'll be a talking snake. You realize that's not normal, right? And that snakes don't talk, and it's gonna stick out like a fucking sore
This
thumb.
is gonna be, and he's like, nope, no one will ask questions. And in fact, no one ever does.
No
Why
one
does a
does.
fucking snake talk?
Yeah, because no other animals talk in this movie, do they?
No, no, they don't.
What the fuck?
Can we talk about Lucinda's whole deal?
Sure. And then I think we actually need to do a thing, don't we? At some point in the near
Yeah,
future?
oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
Lucinda just seems like a real asshole.
Yeah.
And I don't quite understand what her whole deal is because it sounds like no one likes her.
Yeah.
She has a real problem and no one's talking to her about it.
Yeah. So Lucinda being the fairy godmother.
Yeah, because
Um,
anytime Anne Hathaway shows up somewhere that Lucinda has just been, she's like, "Hey, is Lucinda here?" And they're like, "Thank fuck no,
yeah.
she's
Okay.
finally fucking gone."
Here's my theory about Lucinda.
Mm-hmm.
She got what was it, go away heat?
Yes,
She got go away heat. And
she
here's
does have go away heat.
because we've all, as you said, you know what happens to that kid on your block that has go away heat that grows up? They
Mm-hmm.
still have go away heat.
Yeah, but now they're an adult on your block who has go
Now they're an
away heat.
adult who probably owns a gun.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
They're a cop, actually,
they're
is what happens.
but we all have those friends, right? That like are when you're like 20 years old, 21, let's say, make it legal. Like they're great at a party. They're
Mm-hmm.
always like fun and they're always up to stuff and it's like a little reckless and it's kind of fun.
Mm-hmm.
But by the time you're 35, if they're still doing it, it's like deeply off-putting.
Yeah.
But there are people that are stuck that way, man. So I
Cops,
think
mostly.
cops. I think that's her vibe.
She's a cop.
She's just fucking narc.
Yeah. I
Um,
I have two fun. Well, do you have any thoughts?
Not really. No, these are great. These are really helping
Since
me explore
since
the movie.
apparently this movie flew out of your skull before you finished watching it.
Yeah, it's literally like being stoned, right? Like 10 minutes in, every like 10-minute chunk, I forgot the 10-minute chunk before it.
So, two thoughts. It has
Yeah.
been 20 years. Anne Hathaway has not aged a fucking day.
She looks, okay, I'll say this because I pulled it up and did say, ooh, baby Anne Hathaways. That's weird.
Hmm.
But to your point, she's only vaguely younger looking.
Yeah, like not in any like describable way, but you can
No.
be like, that's the Anne Hathaway I know,
Yeah.
but like a little younger. Not
Uh,
20 years younger, just a
no.
little bit,
Like 5 years, maybe.
if that.
Maybe 5 years difference. Yeah. It is bananas, and whatever she's doing, keep it up, man.
Yeah,
Because
oh my
like
God.
you have the secret sauce. She's got the Fountain of Youth tucked away somewhere
Hmm.
in her house.
The other,
Mhm.
I don't like young Hugh Dancy.
Young Hugh Dancy does not do it for me at
He
all.
doesn't look good.
He
I'll say
does
that.
not. No.
He looks like any white guy ever, whereas now Hugh Dancy, a snake.
He is so distinct these days.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's very recognizable. And I think for me personally, I will always so associate him with the character of Will Graham.
Mm-hmm.
And like I see his face and I expect the camera to turn around and stare at like a pile of bodies that have been made to look like a totem pole. So
Mm-hmm.
seeing him in this movie and he's like, "Oh wow, you're a princess now," or whatever. And I'm like, this isn't working for me at all,
Yeah.
man. You're smooth. This is a too smooth.
We need a sharpening of this Hugh
Hmm.
Dancy
Yeah, we need to
for
sharpen
us
up
to get
this,
going.
get a file down, get that chin going, get the
Mm-hmm.
cheekbones,
Yeah.
sand them down a little bit. For God's sakes, for fuck's sake.
For fuck's sake.
Ah,
Um, two things to wrap up.
yeah.
It's time to rate this princess.
Oh, we do need to rate her. Yes.
And I think actually this one's gonna be pretty easy.
Yeah, probably.
I have a theory.
Okay.
Ella, you're a 10 in poise. Oh, she's now a 10 in poise. If
Oh,
you tell her what score that she gets, she just is.
true. Ooh, that's a really interesting vector on all this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think she gets a 10 out of poise, 10 out of 10 on
Well,
poise because we told
yeah.
her to.
We told her to, and on top of that, anytime she's told anything, she does immediately gain all of the poise in the
All
world.
of it.
Yeah.
Status, she does end up a queen at the end.
She's a fucking queen.
Yeah,
That's a 10. There's no Alexander wept for there were no more crowns to wear, no more
exactly.
tiaras to gain.
Stewardship, she, hey, Ella, 10 on stewardship. Have a 10 on stewardship.
Well, to get out of even using the gimmick,
Mm-hmm.
she's actually like talking policy.
She's very politically savvy.
She's extremely politically savvy and she's extremely politically active. I more so than her dipshit husband.
Yeah.
Um, so then King Chad.
Mm-hmm.
So I think 10 out of 10 over here.
Yeah. I mean, she's the real like power behind the throne, you
Yeah,
know?
100%. Yeah.
Riz,
Thinking like an 8.
she's pretty rizzy.
It's pretty rizzy.
People seem to like her.
People do seem to really like her, and it is Anne fucking Hathaway.
It's Anne Hathaway. She recruited Slobodan Milosevic, known war criminal, uh, to assist her
Yeah.
in fighting for the rights of other people. That's not nothing.
You want a 10 on this one?
A little.
All right, go for it, bud.
Or should we do a 9 just for like room for improvement?
I think a 9, because 10 would be
Okay.
like,
This is the perfect princess.
right, exactly.
And I don't know that we've hit that yet.
I don't think so.
So that is a 39, which is going to put her at the top.
Oh, beating some pretty horrible scores from some other
Yeah, like
princesses.
Little Mermaid 2's 1
Mm-hmm.
or well, hold on
Well, she does have
because
competition.
She does because fuck. What is her name
Which movie?
from Shrek?
Fiona.
Fiona got a 36.
Ooh,
That's pretty good.
it's pretty good.
Anastasia's an 18. That's not very good. And then Ever After was a 17. Boy, we really score either real high or basically nothing, huh?
Hey, we know what we're after. You
We
know,
do.
we have exacting standards.
And do you know what we're after right now?
Is it mail time, baby?
It's mail time.
Oh, thank God.
We've gotten a lot. Um,
Really?
well, not a lot. We've gotten three, uh, but they're pretty old. They're from like the beginning of November.
Okay.
And I forgot when we did uh,
Was it the
whatever.
boy stroll?
So obviously didn't pull it up during the boys' stroll, and then I think I forgot to do it after we did that stupid Tom Hanks movie.
Yeah.
So this is from November 6th, uh, from Daniel Barkley, who writes subject line, would have loved Ken Griffey Jr. And he said, so I want to thank y'all for this episode. It's the only thing I'm listening to today, and the deep dive into boomer stuff was just reassuring slash excruciating because of the mentality slash apt and timely. I forwarded it to my siblings and friends chat. He sent a link to how to write in the dark, uh, which I do appreciate. Um, he said, thanks for the laughs. Much appreciated. You lovely, dovely boys. Lint Dicks United. Daniel. Daniel, that's incredibly sweet. And
It's so sweet.
when I read that, uh, 2 days after the election, day after the election, whatever. It helped make that day a little bit better when
Yeah,
it was mostly bad.
I will say this about that specific episode as well, the Here episode.
Uh-huh.
I have gotten so many more comments about how helpful that episode was,
Oh yeah?
than like is normal for this podcast. I don't usually get text messages that are like, "Hey, this one was actually like really insightful." Dude, how does it feel to have our insightful episode be the one that starts with you talking about getting icy hot on your ball sack? And everyone's texting me like,
Yeah. Sorry for Sam's balls, but
but
that's the best. This is really wonderful. Um, what
that's a
y'all
great
said.
episode of
Tough break for his nuts, though.
right for those nuts.
I
Anyway,
mean, quite honestly, I will take that over it being the episode where I said that I was at a half chub during
yeah,
uh whatever the
that
second 50 Shades of Grey movie
50
is.
Shades darker, I think.
I don't maybe
Yeah,
that
who
sounds right.
knows? Who knows, man?
So then we have another two from
Yeah,
Daniel in the same thread. These were from November 20th. Subject line is pocket treats. And he says, y'all need headlamps. Then you can hit the high beam on a too close driver not moving over. Fuck those people.
yeah,
Also, why don't one of y'all run for office and push for them sidewalks? Or at least get a ruckus raised at town hall. If I lived in Arkansas, I'd vote for y'all. Season 2 was fine because it highlighted Daryl Wayne Johnson. I refuse to get it right since it's fine to be late, and piss in bottles is a cock. Real big fish, Daniel. And then he adds, oh, and pocket treats is because I throw pocket dog treats at cars not yielding for pedestrians. Go team!
go team.
Oh, exquisite, Daniel. I have since gotten an extremely bright flashlight. And so I will gesture that at oncoming cars so they know I'm there.
Yeah,
Um, I still yell prick at cars.
still
Um,
haven't been shot though.
haven't been shot yet.
Yeah, it's
And
pretty good.
I I I think this podcast is kind of the reason we can't run for office.
Oh, you talked about your state of sexual arousal.
Yeah, I talked
Oh,
about how hard my penis
or
was, which I
unless,
wanted. May I just clarify?
yeah.
wasn't that hard. Okay,
For
I
sure.
just
No, no.
need to clarify. It was not fully hard,
Yeah, no. I think we all knew
unless.
that. Unless that level of honesty about our
Oh,
sexualities and our sexual proclivities and everything else about our lives that we've dove into over 4 years of this podcast, that transparency is what wins us the seat.
oh, what if it is?
Are we
What if
running
that's what does
jointly?
it?
Are we
We're
fusing and running
running together.
together?
Yeah, Patrick Siegel for one city council seat. Let's be honest, we're both kind of busy. We're not going to show up to every meeting if it's just one of us.
Yeah, we'll just trade off. It's
Yeah.
fine.
Well,
Um,
alternate. We say the same things half the time, so I think it's fine.
for sure. I love this. I love the idea of running under one ticket.
Yeah.
Patrick and
Patrick
Siegel.
Siegel once got a little hard during 50 Shades Darker.
Because then in interviews, we can dodge that because it'll be like, didn't you once get a little hard? And I'll be like, hey,
Hey,
that wasn't me.
I would say that, and I'd be like, whoa, whoa, whoa. I would say I was still mostly soft.
Yeah.
Mostly soft. A little hard,
Hmm.
yes, but mostly soft. Didn't you once get icy hot on your balls? Yeah,
Not,
that one's true.
I'm
Now,
not
if
proud of it.
I'm not proud, it was an accident. I don't do this for pleasure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Didn't your house once shit
Didn't your house take a big old dump all over the
in your
neighborhood
in your front yard?
in the middle of Arkansas summer? Well, I guess it was fall. Thank God. Can you
Thank God.
imagine your
In
house
the
makes a
fucking
turd?
August heat. Should we wrap this one up?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Well, next time, I'm looking at the wrong thing. Where is it? Where is it? Gotta find it. Gotta find it.
Hmm.
Next time we're watching Just Enchanted, not Ella Enchanted, Enchanted.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, you got any expectations on this one?
I yes, I'm gonna keep all of my expectations and thoughts about Enchanted to myself. It's a
Okay.
movie I've seen many times.
Oh, okay. I have never seen it, to my
Oh,
knowledge.
okay. It's crazy how many of these princess movies I've seen.
Yeah, you've seen a lot of them.
I've seen a lot of princess movies in my life.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't know what that says. I'll talk to my therapist about
Yeah, I
it.
was gonna say that's something for therapy.
Yeah, that's a therapy question. I just noticed I've seen it. Anyway, yeah, what are you kind of thinking is gonna happen with Enchanted?
I think it's a prequel to Ella Enchanted,
Okay.
um, where
Ooh.
it's the origin story of Lucinda and
I was gonna say
her
that.
problems.
Yeah. Hell yeah, brother.
Yeah. So a lot of go away heat in the next one.
Hmm.
Well, folks, thanks for listening to another episode of Hanksy Panksy. You can find us on Facebook at Hanksy Panksy Podcast. You can find us on Instagram at Hanksy Panksy Pod. You can send us an email at hanksypanksypod@gmail.com. We're not on Twitter anymore, and you know why. We're on Blue Sky. I don't fucking remember what we are, but some form of Hanksy Panksy. We got a Patreon, though. Patreon.com/Hanksy Panksy. We are cooking up a special series. Should we say what it is, or should we wait until we've like
Let's
recorded some?
let's wait until we've gotten a couple in the can, and then I
Okay.
am so excited to push that out.
Yes. But we are going to do a Patreon exclusive season. So
Yes.
you probably want to join up now. We
Yeah.
got one episode of Mackin' at the Movies that you've actually already heard on the main feed. Ken and I are gonna try to record more.
Look, we got so
He's
much content over
been
there.
busy.
We got Hank Spinksy reads a book. We got the entirety of Star Wars is the thing
Yes.
we did.
We need to record another episode of Hanksy Panksy Reads a Book.
Oh yeah, we do. Thank you,
We
Tuck.
do. Yeah, Tuck sent us a gift and we need to read it. So
Yeah. There's like I think I calculated it the other day. There's like an additional like at least 60, maybe 100 hours of content
ooh,
or something
folks, that
crazy
is
over there.
value because it's cheap.
Yeah.
But if you chuck us enough money, you can be one of Hanks's heroes, like Tuck and Daniel and fellas. I'll do anything you tell me to do.
Mm.
Luke, do you have a final quote?
I do. Yeah, it is. If the gauntlet don't fit, you must acquit.
Said by everyone's favorite attorney, Slobodan Milosevic, Esquire.
Yep.
Well, folks, thanks for listening to another episode of Hanksy Panksy. We'll check you next time with Enchanted.